Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, to the weekly or the currently weekly 3D content. Today I want to show you another project that I did this week, or basically just now, and the idea was to create scales, so to create patches of scales for a character for the animal features part or stuff that I do. And yeah, as you can see, I've started with a grid. I've the first part is really just shaping the scales. I took some time to look at actual scales, so at photos of scales actually. And as you can see, the first, or the easier part, was actually making the outer shape. And now I'm going to shape the scale a bit to give it more depth and more detail. So as you can see right now, I'm using the extrude tool to give the edges a bit of space so that I can easier work with the edge manipulation tool. And after I've done the final shape of the scales, I went to actually place them. And this is a project that I finished, that I finished, and actually it's not something I am with how it is now. I'm not happy with it. So the end result is not what I had in mind. And the thing is that I still want to show you what I did this week, because I'm not really don't really have the time to do more content than that. And yeah, this is due to everything else that's going on. So you can check my other videos of currently that explain a bit more what's going on. Anyhow, as you can see, the second part was actually mostly copy pasting and putting the I was copy pasting and putting the scales into their place. And now I started to bend and reshape one of the scales, because I wanted to do a ring around the neck. Basically a scaly ring around the neck. And yeah, I started at a random point, which probably wasn't a good idea. I started at the side, but in hindsight, it would have been better to start at the neck, at the center of the neck, which I will do next time I try to do scales. So as you can see, they're really just grafted onto the skin. They're really just set there. And this is actually a thing you see in the final render as well. It's not really that it doesn't really look like good. It doesn't look natural. So this is not actually a failed project, I would say, but rather it's something where I had an idea and I tried to do it and I went for it, and I clearly need just more. I need another idea. I need another angle to go on this. So I will at some point go and look at pictures, look at look at basically pictures of what I had in mind. So demi-humans with scales, and just see how they are drawn, how they are maybe rendered in other 3D animations, and how people generally work with this. So as you can see, I've neglected the idea. The shaped scales didn't work as I wanted, so I went ahead and did a second round of scales on the neck. And again, I started at the side where I should have started at the center of the neck, but this is just something that occurred to me after I was basically done with the ring around the neck. So this is something I will do next time. Also, I think the the size of the scales is too small. I should have made them probably bigger. So this is something I will also do next time. The overall shape is actually okay. So the shape of a single scale actually what I had in mind, and it's actually kind of realistic at some point. This looks like a reptile scale that could exist in the real world, so this is okay. But I think the size and the actual how it bends around the neck is not really what I had in mind. And yeah, the clipping with the human body is actually also something that I wanted to do differently. So I wanted it to look like it's actually like it's growing out of the skin, or like it's part of the skin. But this is really it's not working as intended, so I have to do this again as well. And while I already have ideas how to do this and how to accomplish this, this is not something that I will do just now or just right now. So I don't know how how next week will be time-wise, but I guess I will only do content on the weekend for this month. So hopefully I can resume normal work on January. Anyhow, you can see I've done the second time around the neck, and I went for two rows, and I filled in the spot in the middle manually. And then I basically copied over the single scale for the belly. So there's some scales on the stomach, as well as the thigh and the lower arm later on. So at this point I was actually thinking about making it asymmetrical on the belly too. But I decided I wouldn't do that because I first wanted to see how it really looked before I went into more detail with this. And yeah, as it proves in the end, it's okay-ish, but it's not what I had in mind, so it's not really 100% there yet. Yeah. As you can see, I've also copy-pasted part of the scales on the belly, and this is kind of difficult because they're not in the actual middle, or they're not perfectly in the center of the belly, because the middle ones are not aligned or not perfectly aligned. It's just a rough estimate of where the middle should be, which is intentional. I didn't want it to be just the perfect thing. And yeah, with the thigh I also went for some asymmetry, so this is the thing. Here is the actual render of just the scales, and here's a little bit of Death 3D content where I had the scales actually implemented, so you can see how it looks in the actual render with texture and also a bump map. But in the end, I'm not really satisfied with this, so yeah. Anyhow, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or ideas, just tell me and in the comments. I hope you're all alright, and see you guys around, I hope.